Rocking and rolling.
We're good? We're good? All right. Well, we are here with Ashley Kidd. Got the name right.
Got it.
And so for people that might not be familiar with you, Ashley, why don't you kind of tell them a little bit about what you do and who you are?
Yeah, I am a professional wake surfer. Been pro since I was 15. No, started when I was 15 years old. Been pro since I was 16. But yeah, I have been competing ever since then.
And just going. And so are you originally from this area?
I'm born and raised in Corpus Christi.
Okay.
But I've lived in Austin since 2013, and I love it. I'm not going anywhere.
No. Yeah. I mean, the water here is amazing, and the scene here, I love it. Yeah, I've been here 5 years, and I don't want to go anywhere else, and it's the best. And so with wake surfing, like, was that something you always did, or did you have like any type of history in other athletics, or was that just something you fell into?
It's actually a funny story. I definitely fell into it. I was the kid that grew up and like would try a sport and be terrible at it and do it for like a week and then quit. And then move on to the next thing.
Yep. Yeah.
Basically to where my mom had to buy like all the stuff for that sport. And then I'm like, yeah, I don't like this. And then I would move on to the next thing. So growing up, I was like, yeah, I'm just not a sports person. And then when I was 15 years old, well, I did a little bit of cheerleading, got into that a little bit for about 2 years. I wouldn't say I was good at that. And then around 15 was when I learned how to wake surf. I wakeboarded a little bit before that, but once I learned wake surfing, I was like immediately like, okay, I love this.
What's the main difference?
Yeah.
Wakeboarding and wake surfing.
So wakeboarding, you're attached to the board and you're holding onto the rope. You're going like 20 miles an hour and you're far away from the boat and you're doing flips and stuff like that. Wake surfing, you're going only like 10, 11 miles an hour. You have a bunch of weight in the boat, so it creates a wave on one side.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have the rope. So it's like more of ocean surfing, but like an endless little wave. Okay.
And so how does one get into being a pro then? Like, what is the qualifications for that?
You have to go to a competition and have like a certain set tricks that you're able to do, and you can compete in the pro division. But to like compete at Worlds or anything like that, you have to qualify for it.
And there's like certain tricks you have to do, like backflips or anything, like something cool like that.
Well, we don't do backflips on the wake surf.
Yeah, no.
It's a little hard not attached to the board. I'm sure one day it might happen.
I imagine the waves aren't big enough. And
yeah,
since
it's hard to get the
it,
momentum to do that.
Like, so what do like judges look for then at a competition?
So intensity, variety of your tricks, how well you execute them, and I'm forgetting one. Variety, execution, intensity.
What's intensity?
I'm like I don't remember the last one.
Is intensity just like yelling a lot and just like, yeah, waves?
No, it's like I would consider myself like an intense rider. Yeah. So I'm putting like a lot of power and aggression into all my moves.
Like when you throw the board
exactly.
and stuff?
Like the more power and like force you can put into it, that would be your intensity.
Okay. And is there like a major surf competition that everyone like tries to get to every year?
The World Championships.
Where's that at?
They change it every year.
Okay.
Yeah. This year it's going to be in North Carolina.
Is it only restricted to lakes, or do you do it in oceans as well?
Well, the oceans make it a little tricky because you want like really calm water, which we've done wake surf events in like intercoastals or like flat bays.
Okay.
So we've done them in saltwater, but lakes are ideal.
Yeah, that's kind of the best to do. And so you've won 5 times now.
5 world championships.
When's the next one?
Next Worlds?
Yeah.
It'll be in October.
Ooh, okay, and that's North Carolina, you said?
Yeah.
And so what is there, like they have a specific lake out there that you guys do it at?
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be on Lake Norman.
Okay.
So it's kind of near Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've been to Charlotte. I've never been to that lake. And do you have like do you have you gone anywhere else in the world to do it as well, or is it usually just here? Because
yeah.
I always think of like they call like football like the Super Bowl world champions, but it's like they're just here. So I don't know if that's like applies to the same thing, but if you're going to other countries as well, like what other countries have you gone to?
I have gone to Asia quite a bit for wake surfing. I've gone to Russia. I've gone to France. I've gone
everywhere.
a little bit all over. I hear that Worlds will probably be out of the country next year.
Okay.
So.
And so do you have like any like so one thing I've learned doing this and talking to so many cool athletes is I'm very I guess just oblivious to how big communities are in different sports. Is like the wake surfing community growing? Is it already been is it big? Is it pretty well established?
Yeah, it's growing a lot. Like I said, I've been competing since I was 16 years old and I'm 27 now. So I've seen wake surfing change so much. Back then it was it's so small.
What has changed a lot about it?
Everyone is starting to know what wake surfing is. Yeah. Back then people are like, wait, what do you do? Like, what is it? Or you're like driving down the lake and they're like, are you sinking? Like your boat doesn't look normal. And now it's just like you go out on Lake Austin here and everybody's wake surfing. Like everyone knows what it is now. Is
Lake Austin more preferred for you than like Travis?
Normally, yeah, just because wind's blocked. I have my boat on Lake Austin, so first time having my boat on the water, which has been amazing. I usually trailer it. That boat looks
sick, by the way.
It's amazing. It's my favorite one I've had.
Yeah. What is there like differences between boats that you prefer? I've been on boats where you'll push a button and it'll like sink one side or like add a bunch of weight to create a surf.
Yeah.
And so how did you even land this new boat? It's dope. It has your initials on it. It's so sparkly. Yeah, it's sweet. And so how did that come about?
So I've been sponsored by Centurion for a long time, very long time. Yeah. So I always get one of their boats each year. And this model, I usually get the FI25, which is a different model than the one I have right now. And I decided to go with their like newer RI. So I went with that, and then I wanted to really customize it this year. So I actually went to Mark at Lakeside Graphics, like in Lakeway, and we came up with the whole AK graphics for the boat. And I was like, all right, why have I not been doing this on every boat? Like, I love this.
Have you seen it, Marlon? Have you seen it? Oh,
no,
dude.
I haven't seen it.
You should look it up. It's dope.
Right,
and
it stands out on the water.
It's sweet. Yeah. When I saw you had posted something about it, and I was like, man, that's so dope. Like, because growing up in Idaho, boating's big, but you only are allowed to do it like 3 months out of the year. And so, you never really like, no one ever gets boats unless they're going camping or lake. And so to see like a custom boat with your initials on it, all sparkly and dragged out font, like that's so sick. And so, when it comes to wake surfing, do you have like any like rivals that you go against? Anyone that kind of pushes you?
I would say the guys kind of push me the most because I see their progression and the things they're doing. And I'm like, what? Okay, I need to learn this. Like,
they don't separate. Do they separate them into classes?
We are separated, but I've always like almost like been inspired by their riding because they're a little bit like further along with tricks and stuff. So I've always like just watched that to see like, okay, what am I going to do next? Like, what am I going to bring into the women's division that nobody's learned yet?
Yeah. I mean, those are ways that make a world champion though, is surrounding yourself with the best, people that push you every day and make you work harder and learn new things. And so do you have like a specific rider that you admire the most? Or just like a list, it's just some
I think
people.
that there's like specific things I like about each rider, like whether it's their style or how big they're going on tricks or like their innovation of like some crazy technical tricks.
Just like the individual's accomplishment as opposed to just an individual.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you have 5 times now. Is there a record or do you currently have it of how many, like basically
in the women's?
Yeah.
I think I have the most world titles right now.
keep it going
I gotta
too.
get the 6th one this year.
Yeah. It's coming up. I mean, that's the mindset to get it. And so what kind of goes into training then with wake surfing?
Really, I do.
Today's episode is brought to you by ReGen Health and Wellness. The team at ReGen Health and Wellness is devoted to helping patients revitalize, repair, and renew the optimal blueprint of yourself. They provide an individualized and concierge model of healthcare, empowering patients to optimize their health span and overall quality of life. It's said no one can escape father time, but almost everyone can make the conscious decision and commit to living better and healthier lives. It begins with a mindset. They offer both in-clinic and telemedicine consultations. So whether you're due for a routine checkup or struggling to hit your health and fitness goals, go online or give them a call to schedule your appointment today.
A lot of on the water training, and then a lot of off water training as well. I'm like extremely active. It's very rare for me to not be doing something active. I do a lot of yoga. I've noticed that helps really. I think one of the main things that helps with wake surfing is yoga.
How so?
Because I think a lot of it's like range of motion. You know, like if you have good range of motion, like if you're landing in like a weird position, you can recover from it, you know?
Yeah.
So I've noticed that has helped me a lot, and balance. There's a lot of balance in yoga.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I've ever actually been able to get up on a wake surf before.
Really?
Yeah. I went 2 summers ago with some dentist, and we just kept going, and I could not get up. Everyone else is doing it, and I was like, all right.
There's no way.
Yeah, I was like I'm not going to keep wasting their time.
You on my boat,
I'm down. I'll go. We'll set it up with what we were talking about earlier with everyone, and we'll make that the goal. And
for sure,
because it is extreme. Like you make it look so easy, and obviously, like it's your lifestyle. So, but people don't understand how tough it can be, like when you're just getting going. And so, like, you know, you were saying, kind of, because I'm so oblivious, I'll just keep veering off on different subjects, but kind of focus on wake surf training. So you do the yoga. Obviously, I can see how that helps with like balance and stuff. And you say you're really active as well. Like, what other type of things do you do that you think benefits you on the water?
Lots of endurance workout training. I started working out On It.
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely loving.
Just talk to them.
Their workouts.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
They're great.
It's amazing.
They have such a great they're like a high performance facility for people that aren't familiar. They just think it's a supplement company. Yeah, they train some of the best.
And the cool thing about it too, which I think a lot of other places miss out on, but before the workout, you're doing a lot of different body movements just to get warmed up to do the workout. Yep. And it's like some places you just get thrown in there and they're like, okay, here's the workout. Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, you can definitely get hurt doing that.
They don't understand that the warm up is part of the workout. It's essential. Yeah. I am one of those idiots that would just get excited and go to the gym. Learning the hard way now as I'm getting older that like I can't
do that.
I gotta stretch. I'm gonna be 30 in August, and it's just stretching is like my new favorite thing to do because
it's just like you feel so much better.
It's just warming up and like not like when you pull your lower back, you quickly realize you there's some things you need to change. Just from when you pull your back doing shoulders, you're like, okay, my body's broken. It's time to take care of it. But you know, you're completely right. You know, there are a lot of high performance institutes that will just throw people in and they're just chasing numbers as opposed to progression.
Exactly.
And so how long have you been training over there?
It's just been a couple weeks now, but
are you training with anyone specific?
I've just been doing their small group classes. Yeah. It's cool too, because they do correct a lot of the movements. They'll even come up to me and they're like, hey, do this differently. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, thank you. Like, I like being corrected.
So happy right now. Yeah. You know, what's funny was our last guest was Juan. How do you say his last name? Aleja. Yeah. And he was their former, or just recently was their director of fitness programming. And he was talking about all that, just correct form, you know, the things that go into athletic training, movements, focusing on, you know, not just trying to chase numbers and, you know, high school training is what I call it. but actually taking care of people and stuff. And so do you do any, with endurance too, do you add any type of lifting in there as well? Or is it just more like high performance?
I would say just more of like the on it type workouts. I don't ever really go to the gym and just lift specifically. I think a lot of those types of workouts plus yoga is what really helps me with wake surfing, because I don't want to get like too big and bulky, because that would be like the opposite of what I need for wake surfing.
It doesn't essentially go into your type of competition and what you do through wake surfing. I don't see the point in lifted heavy weights all the time. It really might add to the intensity.
I enjoy lifting some heavy weights like when I am doing those workouts, for sure. But
that's one thing I'm trying to learn as I branch out. I've talked about it a few times on the show where I've always been, probably the last 8 years, strictly weightlifting. I mean, it's my therapy. I go there. It's a good way to decompress. But having this brand in this, which I never thought would become what it is now, I thought it was important to branch out and learn all these different sports, and it's so fun.
It is.
I never thought I would enjoy doing just random sports and exercises and seeing the benefits of how much better they make me feel. And so it's funny that you brought up On It. I just talked to them on Monday, and they had mentioned you, and I think that's awesome. Yeah, they're great over there, and I love that they're local and for how big they are. And so, do you what do you do then for recovery? As far as that, I realized how sore I was.
I'm like,
I don't know if it's just because I was wiping out.
That's my least favorite. So recovery, I will foam roll.
Oh yeah.
The
devil.
I'm not the most consistent with it.
No, I realize I only foam roll when I'm hurt, which is why I'm hurt. Yeah.
It's supposed to be preventative.
Yeah, I know. It's always post injury. I'm like,
it took me a long time to get it through my head that I'm like, okay, I need to do this. It came from like many sprained ankles and stuff, like things getting tight and pulling somewhere else. I'm like, okay, I need to just do this. And it honestly has helped. So that and like sitting in the hot tub, I do that.
You have a hot tub?
I do, but I really want an infrared sauna.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
don't they have
I
one
want one of those.
At Big Tex, don't they have one?
Yeah, Big Tex, they put them in the room.
We'll hook you up. That's where we work out at, and they just put one in.
Cool.
I'd love to have you out, but foam. I treat foam rolling and stretching like I do when I'm sick. Like when you get a cold and all of a sudden you start. That's when everyone decides like vitamins and water and start taking care of themselves. Like that's how I am with stretching and foam rolling and stuff. And so with recovery as well, like I realized how sore I was. Not really necessarily upper body, but my legs were burning. Even just being on a boat. Like my calves would hurt. And so do you ever sit in like ice baths or do like cryotherapy, things like that as well?
I've tried them in the past, but I don't enjoy being cold.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's the
honestly,
worst. Yeah.
Like I don't like being cold. No. I'll sit in a sauna. I'll sit in a hot tub.
That's why I
haven't gotten super into the whole ice bath thing.
Do you get super beat up on the water, or is it? I mean,
it depends on how like hard and how much I'm training. But there's days where I'm like, I feel like I got hit by a car.
That's how I felt after I did it, because I just kept crashing, and that hurts. Like the water feels like cement when you just slam.
Certain falls definitely do, but I've realized over the years that it's okay to take days off.
Yep.
And I think that's hard, the biggest thing that like I've had to teach myself. And I'm like, okay, my body hurts. Like I need to take 2 days off. Like I just need to not work out for 2 days. And then I go crazy. And I'm like, I have to get back to it.
I get so irritable just, not being able to just go do something active. I hate sitting at home.
I know. I'm the same way.
Well, I bet like you have the boat, like you get to go on the lake. That's like everyone wants to go out here. I mean,
that was my workout.
Yeah. I wish I could my day was on the lake. I meet a ton, I'm always out socializing and stuff. And it's so weird whenever they're probably just gold diggers, but I'll be meeting these girls. They'll be like, so do you have a boat? You have a boat?
And I'm like, they're like, so.
Do I have a boat?
Yeah, I know Ashley. She'll take us on her boat.
I was like, I know Ashley. Oh, we're good.
That's
I'm
so
like,
funny.
whatever. But so have you ever had to deal with like past injuries? Have you ever had any, sustained any through wake surfing?
I've had the worst injury of my entire life when I was only in first grade.
Ooh,
that's what that scar's from on my arm.
Yeah, you show them. Yeah. What happened there?
Compound fracture.
Oof.
It was from the monkey bars.
Oh. Yo, those elementary school. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Everyone's like, did a shark get you?
So
like all this
you
stuff.
fell off and landed.
I was racing my friend across them.
Oh boy.
And all I remember is waking up on the ground. My face was in the dirt, and I was like, looked over and was like, "What is happening?"
Your arms like touching your shoulder.
It was disgusting.
Oh yeah.
That's been the worst.
Nothing after that though.
I mean, wake surfing, I get like giant bruises and like bumps in my shin and like stuff like cuts. I've gotten stitches.
Oh, yeah.
I get that kind of stuff, but nothing compares to the compound fracture.
No. Does it still give you problems?
No, not really. I mean, it
been a
pops.
long time.
It pops a lot.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, it's
Today's episode is brought to you by Avatar Nutrition. It is always a treat to show some love to our sponsor, Avatar Nutrition. Avatar is actually owned by my friend Mark, who is a lifting buddy of mine from the gym. What I didn't realize at the time is that his app has been used by close to 200,000 people, and they've used it to lose over 2.5 million pounds of pure body fat. What's really special about Avatar is that it's a complete service delivered through a super easy-to-use app. See, Avatar is the OG in the macros game and created a process that makes counting macros both fun and simple to stick to long-term. You've got unlimited support from their community and experts on staff, and they are in the business of giving their clients results that last. Try it free on the App Store or Google Play Store for 2 weeks, and if you love it as much as I do, it's just $9.99 a month after that, or $97.99 for the annual rate if you want even more of a discount. If you're a coach, trainer, or you own any kind of business and want to use Avatar to facilitate game-changing nutrition coverage for your people, Avatar is a program for groups too. Just contact them through their website to learn more at www.avatarnutrition.com.
I remember wakeboarding though, holding onto the rope. My arms were killing me the next day though. So yeah, that's why I got to learn wake surfing. I have to deal with that.
Oh, for sure. And anytime I've wakeboarded, it's like immediate headache, face plant, like in pain.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, and you have to strap your feet in.
Yeah.
Which always scares me. Like even snowboarding, like I just know that's for someone like me, as clumsy as me, like I'm just thinking I'm gonna snap my ankles. Like one wrong twist or something, I'm just gonna be like, what's that one movie where the lady like hits the dude's ankles with the hammer? It's an old scary movie. I can't remember.
Like a Stephen King book.
Yeah. That's how I imagine
where she
my
takes
feet.
The author.
Yeah,
and
she
wants
puts
him to write
the.
the
Have you ever seen this movie?
I don't think
Dude,
so.
Google it. Look it
I
up
don't
real
know
quick.
what it's called.
Yeah, we got to see. It's
this author.
Yeah.
He's like a famous author, right?
James Caan is the guy that plays him, and essentially he gets in a car wreck and is saved by this crazy old like lady in the woods, and it happens to be like an obsessive, crazy big fan of his.
Oh,
and so he's bed rest, but she won't like call any help. She's just taking care of him, and then she wants him to like write a book.
Misery.
Yeah, Misery. That's what it's called. Crazy ass movie.
never
It's like
seen
a
that.
trilogy that was unfinished by the author.
Yep.
So the obsessed fan is like holding him captive and making him write the book.
And then because it's not finished and he's starting to recover, she puts a log in between his feet, his ankles, and takes a sledgehammer and just hits both feet, and feet just turn in.
Ew.
And that's how I think is what's going to happen to me when I put those on.
I don't think that's possible.
Well,
anything now. Yeah.
I think it's just the 10 mile an hour difference or the 5 mile an hour difference or whatever. Like when you hit the water, it's like concrete when you're wakeboarding.
It freaks me out. And so, but wake surfing, I can just bail. So
Is there an optimal weight to be whenever you're wake surfing?
For
Does
wake
it matter?
surfing?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, I personally have noticed differences in my riding, like depending on my weight. So I try to like not gain too much weight or anything. That's about it. But
do you have to have like a specific board that you use? Like, do you have a preference for a board?
Yeah, I have a custom board, a pro model board, which we actually sell too. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. We have like the same one I ride, and then a men's version.
What's the difference between the two?
The men's version's blue and not pink.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'll rock it. No shame here. Pink's tough.
And it's like a little bit bigger as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is like, so if I tried to ride the pink one, I might sink or something. Or
yeah, the pink one would probably be too small for you.
We'll try it. Give it a shot.
Give it a shot. Does that have more to do with height?
Yeah.
It has a lot to do with like height, weight.
Overall. I mean, physics. And so do you have plans for like post competing, or do you just plan on competing as long as you possibly can?
Yeah, so I used to actually compete a lot more than I do now. I used to go to every single event. I was like, I'm there. That's good. But now I kind of do some of the bigger events and what I need to qualify for Worlds. Mm-hmm. So I've toned down the competition side, and I've been doing a lot more like social media collaborations with other people, or like teaching people how to wake surf. I do a lot of wake surf lessons and photo shoots. So I've been doing a lot more of like traveling for photo shoots and brands and
branding,
that side.
Putting yourself out there. Yeah, no, I mean, you've done a great job at it, and you got Josh backing you up too. He's phenomenal too.
He's amazing. Yeah, he's fun to work with.
He does great work. Yeah,
we laugh the whole time we're making my YouTube videos.
Yeah, I met him briefly like years ago. He was out of a Big Tech's gym, and then he just took off. I didn't see him for years, and then I just saw him recently, and so I talked to him a little bit more. But no, that's great that you've been doing that. So you're saying you do lessons as well?
I do. I teach a lot of wake surf lessons. That's been like
in person or online?
In person.
Really?
Yeah, that's been like
people are so excited.
Pretty much a full-time gig lately. So it's been.
Do they travel here, or do they just live here?
Yeah, a little bit of both. A lot of the times I get people traveling to Austin, whether it's for work or for vacation, and then they'll add in the wake surf lessons while they're here.
So dope. Yeah, that's so cool. That's smart too.
And I really like. I've been enjoying that aspect of it because I'm like able to help other people, and they get excited over it. Which winning a competition is very, very fulfilling. But it's really cool, like teaching somebody else and
just help
I know. Yeah, I'm like, oh, cool. They're that excited over this. Cool. Okay.
I talk about that all the time. I love helping people out, and people always think it comes with conditions, and I'm like, no, like I love doing it. It's if you find yourself in a position, it's hard to just not apply that and help people. And I'm sure people are excited to meet you from especially if they're competitive or that's a hobby, someone with your credibility and stature in the sport. That's cool. That's cool that you do that. And so is that something that you'd want to continue doing as well? Like post competition, like get more involved?
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably compete till, I don't know, maybe one day if I don't feel like doing it, but I don't see myself quitting anytime soon, or even have like an age that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm done by this age.
Yeah, I would say like competition wise, like surfing and all that usually never has an end. I lived in Maui for a little bit, and there were guys that were like 60, 70 surfing still.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about this sport is like, I will forever wake surf. Like I know for a fact, like I'm gonna wake surf forever. Yeah. As far as competing goes, like I said, maybe it'll be forever. Who knows? Maybe I'll be 50 years old out there. Like I'm still gonna go compete.
Crushing it. Well, I mean, with how the world works now, like you get these guys that are 50 years old that look like they're 20 and like just as strong. Houston Alexander. That guy, he's a former UFC fighter. He fights in the bare knuckle league now. This dude's, I think, 50 years old, and he looks shredded and jacked, and he's still going, like still throwing hands. And so I mean, just how the 50 years old back in like the 60s, 70s, they're retired, like falling apart. Yeah, so now it's crazy to see how that grows. So you were also mentioning now you don't compete as much; you just do what you have to do to go to Worlds. So how does one qualify for Worlds? Do you have to win a certain amount of competitions?
Yeah,
is it a point system?
It's
things like that?
the top ranked 9 athletes make it to Worlds, and you have to compete in a minimum of 3 events. But this year, I think I'm doing like maybe 6. So I used to do like 14.
And you have to win over all those competitions, or do you have to place like a top?
No, you have to be like placing, like I said, top 9.
Okay.
So as long as you're top 9 by the end of the season, like towards the end of the season, you'll be invited to Worlds.
Are those like pro competitions or just any competitions? Like who kind of sanctions it?
Yeah. So we actually in wake surfing have a couple different sanctions of different events.
Okay.
So the World Championships is sanctioned.
Yeah.
Sanctioned.
Sean Connery.
By the CWSA,
okay,
which is the Competitive Wake Surf Association. So they do that one, and that's the one where you have to do a minimum of 3 of their events and be top 9 to make it to Worlds. But then we have like a couple other series as well that has like the other series has nationals in it. So that one's just kind of, I don't think you are required to do anything to make it to nationals, but they are pro events.
Oh, okay. So that was kind of, what I was wondering is if like there's a difference between pro and just like amateur events and things like that.
Most of the events actually have like, they'll have an amateur division, an outlaw division, and a pro division, and a masters. So outlaw is like, amateur would be like, getting started. And then outlaw would be you're above amateur, but not pro yet. Yeah. And then there's pro, and then masters, I think it's like 45 and above.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, that part. And so when you're at Worlds, how many, do they break it into the same classes like that? Or is it just kind of a free-for-all based on like your men's division and women's division?
Yeah, it's all different classes.
Okay.
There's a lot of classes. So we have skimmed, like, for example, like pro women's. We have pro women's skim and pro women's surf. So I'm in the surf division. And then there's the other girls that are in skim. And it's the same thing for the men. And
what's a skim?
So on. The skim board.
Oh, it's a different type of board.
Yeah, okay. It's a whole different type of board. So
what does that
look like? It's a thinner board, and it'll usually have like maybe one little fin or no fins, sharper edges. So it's easier for like spinning, but harder for like stuff in the air. It's just a whole different style. And then the surfboard's like a little surfboard you would find that you'd, go in the ocean, but mini.
But you're just behind the boat.
It's thicker and has giant fins.
No, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm learning. Like I'm so unfamiliar with wake surfing and as a sport. I've just always seen it as a hobby that I have no clue. So
for sure.
And so and you've won 5 of those. And so
today's episode is brought to you by CBD Online Xpress. CBD Online Xpress is a fresh, up-and-coming CBD company that strives to offer the highest quality products at an affordable price to help you in your everyday life. They offer a variety of products such as tinctures, edibles, flour, and even their new recreational line, Oxed Up. They also have plans to introduce water and an energy drink later this year. Go to cbdonlineexpress.com and get your products today.
With Worlds too, do they ever do like just an open competition where it's just everyone competes at the same time? Anything fun like that, or is it just they just stay?
No, they have like all their divisions.
Okay, figured as much. Yeah, they God, what was the other? There was another question I was trying to think.
With skim, do they? So what is the difference? Like if you have, like I'm talking about like the riding style.
Yeah.
So like in the wake surfing, like you guys are catching air and doing stuff in the air, right?
Right.
Okay. So with skim, they're just staying. Is that would you call surfing more advanced? Or
so you can still get in the air on skimboards for sure. But I personally like the looks of surf style more.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I think it's a little more aggressive riding and flowy and just
comes with some swag.
Yeah.
Is there like a standout move that people try to get every year?
Not really. I mean, in the women's surf style, I wouldn't say that there's like one. I know that there's one in my head that I'm like, oh, if I land this trick, like I'm so happy. Which is a front shove.
What's that?
So the board, like, I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. I'm very visual.
You are on video. You know,
yeah, this is a video. Yeah, so like people can see it. Yeah,
hands
I'm
will
like,
work.
I'm visual if I'm showing you a video of me. This is what it is.
Yeah.
So a front shove's if I go up the wave and I get in the air and I'm kicking the board towards the boat. So like the fins, instead of them being in the back, they're going to be in the front now. And I'm doing that in the air. So I kick it to where the fins are in the front. And then I'm landing back on it. And then I could either shove out where I jump up and the board turns again, or just rotate it around. It gets very technical.
So you got to lose the board.
Yeah. So that's a front shove.
Oh, man.
In a competition, so like I know, you know, growing up watching like the X Games and things like that, when you're skating, there's a freestyle portion, there's a course portion. Is that similar with wake surfing too?
I wish we had like just, okay, here's this amount of time, do whatever you want, fall as much as you want. Like that would be so cool. But so in wake surfing we have one buoy and then another buoy. So it's start buoy, end buoy, and it's about 45 seconds. So once you pass that first buoy, you have to be already like throwing your tricks. And then you have till the end, and you can get picked up one time. So if you fall, you're picked up once, but you don't want to fall because then the boat takes a little bit of time to get up to speed. So it takes up part of your course. Yeah. And then you get to go one time back. So it's 2 passes, and that's it.
That's your only run for the comp?
For that day.
Okay.
Because they'll usually be 2 to 3 days.
That's long. That's what I was going to ask. Those questions I was trying to remember earlier was how long these competitions usually go for. And, you know, I imagine Worlds is probably a little longer than your typical pro show.
Yep. 3-day event. And usually they just eliminate people each day. So each day is like a new day. So like the last day, it's like you have those 2 45-second passes, and that's what determines if you're the world champion. Like talk about pressure.
That third day, I was gonna say that third day I'd be nervous.
Yeah.
So
I'm definitely always ready for that day to be over.
Yeah, just get it over with and get that medal. And how many people usually compete at Worlds?
Oh, there's a lot. Yeah, I mean, so I don't know exactly how many we've had each year. I think around 70 maybe, with all the divisions combined.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But in the women's division, like I said, you have to qualify for it. So we'll usually have I think it's 9 people.
Oh, yeah, that makes. And they're from. Do you like represent like your country, or is it just you as a independent athlete?
You as an independent athlete, and then of course your sponsors.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so it's so funny. Ever since, like I was telling you earlier too, like ever since we scheduled this, I've heard nonstop about Ashley Kidd. Have you seen wake surfing? Have you done this? And so, like, are you getting more of that now out here as the sport continues to grow? Do you get a lot more public recognition or fame, things like that?
Yeah, and it's funny because, like I said, I've been doing this for so long when people didn't even know what wake surfing was. So now when somebody comes up to me, like at the grocery store or something, I'm like, what? You know who I am?
You're like, you want to buy these for me?
It's so funny. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's been really cool. Yeah. It's especially on the lake too. Like,
people see you and
they see my boat and they're like,
you can't miss that boat.
Take a picture with you? And I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's been a cool experience.
No weirdos yet.
I mean, there's always the weird Instagrammers.
Oh yeah. That's one thing. It's not like Mike Tyson punching that guy on the plane. Did you see that?
No.
Oh man, did you see that one?
I'm telling you, I basically anytime anybody asks if I've seen something, I'm like, no, I kind of just live on the water. I don't know anything.
We're not on our phones out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, if it happened on the lake, I probably saw it.
Some guy was like, he was turned up on a.
Yeah, he was like in the studio. So obviously Mike Tyson's like the baddest dude in the world, right? And there's this guy, this drunk dude, just being obnoxious with him and like talking to him, messing with him. Mike's like trying to be cool and brush him off. And then the dude, like, I guess slides his hand through the seats and was like trying to take pictures. And Mike turns around and just starts punching this guy, just laying into him. And I don't think anything's happened since then. I think the guy got a lawyer, but I don't think.
That's crazy.
It was nuts. And so I always wonder how a lot of people deal with the fame and recognition, and I don't have any of that. I have more people that come up to me and say, that's somebody's daughter. Because there's this video that I did with a friend who's always like jumping on bars and twerking and dancing. And I would yell that out. And yeah, no one actually knows me from this. They just, that's somebody's daughter.
Just from Tally.
Yeah,
that is
Miss
so
Tally.
funny.
Yeah. But, you know, so with that continuing to grow, are you hoping to really try to, you know, make wake surfing even more mainstream and continue to grow and things like that?
Yeah, I would love to. That's one of the big reasons why I've been focusing on like the social side of things and YouTube and all that now.
It's important.
I want to grow the sport and especially the women's side of it.
Is it ever on like on YouTube or not YouTube, ESPN? Any of the competitions or anything like that?
No, not on TV yet. So we have them like live streamed, but it's it's online.
It's just web.
Yeah.
I mean, they need to do that. I see the dumbest crap on ESPN all the time. At least like I'd much rather watch wake surfing than, I don't know. They always show stupid stuff. Like I don't care to watch bowling. Bowling is intense though. Billiards. Yeah. Like poker on ESPN makes no sense to me, but
I would probably get like bored immediately.
Wakeboarding is so much, or surfing is so much more like even just thinking of it is way more exciting than poker.
Yeah.
And so outside of wake surfing too, do you have like any other hobbies, like anything fun that you do, or is that just life?
It's basically just life. Yeah. Like my life is revolved around wake surfing and it has always been that way. But I do enjoy doing other things off the water, but it usually consists of like girly things like shopping or
There's nothing wrong with that.
I like cooking.
Okay.
I like that kind of stuff. I have a dog and I've
seen that one.
Oh, yes. I do a lot of things with her, hiking, that kind of stuff.
Kind of dog is it again?
She's a Siberian Husky.
Full breed, all that?
Yes. Oh, yeah. She's very vocal.
Oh man, those huskies scream. They're loud.
I know.
My brother had one, and it was the worst though.
Oh.
And it was very like, I think it was a rescue, but it was an escape artist. It was so good. No matter, we could duct tape it to a wall, and it would still just be like.
She's an escape artist as well, but she's had a lot of training, a lot of dog training. So she's a good dog now. She doesn't really escape. She knows how.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, they're ninjas.
Yeah. She's really smart and very vocal. I can tell her, speak and she'll speak. Or like in the morning when she wants her food, this dog loves food more than any animal I've ever seen. She yells at me until I feed her all morning. I'm like making coffee, like, hold on. And she will not stop. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Food first.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah. You'll eat before me, whatever.
Yeah.
You ever had it out on the board too?
I have, when she was a little puppy. She's kind of big now, so I don't put her out there. But yeah, when she was little, I took her out a couple different times. I did a 360 with her.
What?
Yeah. Yep, did that. And then she was okay with it, but she really just like, that dog loves the boat more than anything. She just hangs out on the boat, like looks out and has the wind blowing in her fur, and she is so happy. Yeah. Yep. And then in the summer too, like I'll take like lots of bags of ice.
Oh yeah.
And she just lays on the ice and sits there and eats it the whole time.
I've seen that before. I've seen people that do that. They'll fill like those little kiddie pools up with ice, and the dogs will go out there. Is that like a genetic thing that like huskies live through?
I have a German Shepherd husky that loves ice.
Really?
Yes.
Seriously, yeah.
Yeah, they love it.
I wonder what it is that causes them to prefer ice. Is it just
she's a little snow dog.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be in the snow.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know much about dogs, but
off,
we're like the complete opposite climate from
exactly.
snow dogs and stuff. And you don't have any other pets but the husky?
Well, 2 other dogs too. My boyfriend has 2 other dogs, so we have 3 dogs.
Oh man, what kind of dogs are those?
They're rescues, so they're just like random.
Yeah,
I'm not too sure.
What kind of dogs are those? You don't even know? They just
don't know.
Found them?
Yeah, he found them. He found them and named them after where he found them. So one of them's name's Gutter. He found him in a gutter. So I'm like, it's so funny because I'll be like calling their names and people just like look at me so weird. They're like, Gutter? Like, yeah.
What's
that's
the husky's
dog.
name?
Bailey.
Bailey.
Yeah.
That's a normal name.
Yeah, she has a normal name. She's very fancy.
Yeah.
And then the two
Yeah.
rescues.
Then you got Gutter.
And then there's Gutter.
What's the other one?
Ace.
Ace.
AC, so air conditioning unit, basically.
Need that out here. Yeah, makes sense.
Today's episode is brought to you by Hotworx. I want to let you guys know about an incredible new craze going on in the Austin fitness community. It's called Hotworx. Hotworx is a virtually instructed exercise program created for users to experience the many benefits of infrared heat absorption while completing a 30-minute isometric workout or a 15-minute high-intensity interval training session. As the infrared heat penetrates your body, causing you to sweat, the isometric postures further accelerate detoxification by physically removing the toxins from your organs through muscle contraction. Hotworx is virtually instructed, has 24/7 access, and also offers easy-to-use app-based scheduling so you never have to miss a class again. Hotworx has 2 locations to serve, located at the intersection of Anderson Mill Road and FM 620 in the HEB Plus Shopping Center, and also another location in San Marcos. So stop in, tell them Austin Fitness Community sent you, and get a special free session on us, and check out Hotworx today.
It's and so you know, shopping too, that's a real thing. I learned that during all of COVID and stuff. Was retail therapy is a thing. I feel so much better when packages arrive.
I know. Yeah, that's been a thing I think my whole life. I've always, like, my mom said even when I was a kid, she would take me into a store and I would find something no matter what store it was.
I was an avid Ross shopper. I loved Ross. And then when I discovered that there's more that exists, I loved shopping for a while, but then you also have to have money to shop. I've learned that the hard way.
Yeah, that's a little important for that.
Yeah, and so with you've lived in Austin again, how long?
Since 2013.
Oh, wow, you've been here a while.
Yeah,
almost 10 years.
Yeah, whenever I was 18, I was like, I'm moving as soon as I can.
Yeah,
and moved straight here.
Did you go to school out here, or did you just come out here?
I actually had a scholarship at Concordia, and I went there for about 3 months.
Really?
And then
what was the scholarship for?
Academics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then decided I was either gonna pick wake surfing or school because it was too much to do both.
Yeah.
And I'm like a perfectionist, so if one thing's not like 100%, I'm not happy. So I picked
college
wake surfing.
isn't for everyone anyways.
No, it's really, I am not a school person, never have been. I'm a very motivated person and I work hard, but I like being like on my own schedule and my own time to do things.
Oh yeah. I tell people school is for, it's good if you're trying to learn either a specific trade.
Exactly.
Or if it's something that requires like people that are going to be doctors or lawyers, things like that. But life experience has taught me way more than college ever taught me. And, I think, I don't know why people get roped into it. I was led to believe all through high school that I had to go to college. That was the thing. And then I went to play football, and when that ended, I was like, that was a huge waste. If I would have known what I know now, I probably wouldn't have even gone. I could have done so much more in that time. And so with, speaking on COVID too, did that derail you from like going on the lake or anything?
Yeah, so it was really weird at first because all my competitions slowly started getting canceled, which, I mean, for as long as I've been competing, that's never happened. So I'm like, whoa, like this is really weird. Like, I don't know what my life is without doing this. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
And all my lessons started getting canceled too. So everything was like getting canceled. And I was like, what am I supposed to do with myself?
Oh yeah.
So like for those, like, I guess it was like maybe 3 weeks when everything was like really shut down here. I started a garden and I was like super into gardening. I was like, man, I'd get excited over little tomatoes every day. I'm like, look at this tomato.
It's mine. I did that.
And I got like obsessed with that and trying new recipes. But then all of a sudden lessons picked up like crazy because everyone started getting bored. So I was teaching like literally like 8-hour days every single day. I didn't really compete that year. I think that we had maybe some online events, but
how do you compete online?
It's interesting. So yeah, you've got like You have to have a friend video you at the back of the boat. But you have to have like a board that has your name on it and division, and they have to film that and then film you throwing the rope and then 45 seconds of tricks. So you can redo it as many times as you want, which
so
is kind of,
weird.
that part's kind of cool. I'm
Yeah.
like, nice. I can do it a million times.
Perfect it and
Yeah,
send it in. They wouldn't like ask for you to live stream it or anything.
No. So, I mean, you can redo
Yeah.
it as much as you want.
That's so strange. I
yeah,
mean, that works
yeah.
in your favor, but
We still have some online.
really?
Yeah,
They still do it?
We still have a handful of them online.
I just, man, there was some weird shit that came out of COVID.
Oh,
Like,
for
people
sure.
did the weirdest stuff to like try to substitute. And yeah, I think everyone was finding anything to stay busy because I was going crazy. Just wake up without a purpose, sit at home, wait to go back to sleep. And
It was weird. I also watched like way more TV than I've ever watched in my life. I'm not really a TV watcher at all. And I don't like that.
well, we all were strategically blessed with Tiger King. That was what I think gave us some.
I couldn't do it.
You couldn't watch it?
I could not do it.
Oh.
I turned it on and started watching some of the episodes, and it got like super weird. And I was like,
it's not normal.
I just can't do this. I was like, I can't do it.
Oh, yeah. It definitely gave people something to do and talk about for a while.
That is true. There was a lot of Tiger King talk out there.
It was, and then they dropped the second season too just recently. That was kind of weird though. Did you ever watch those, Marlon?
Yeah, I watched them, but not the new, like, the new ones. Or
Oh,
anything like that.
yeah, it was strange. Yeah, I saw some of the weirdest behavior too. How people
for sure.
would act like you were COVID. They would like see you. And, oh no! Like I got really into hiking trails and riding bikes.
Yeah.
And I would go hike a trail and I'd see someone walking, and then they would literally like walk up the side of the hill and wait for me to pass.
Sure.
And I'm like,
That's how it was everywhere.
I'm like, what is going on?
And like, it's crazy too, because like I was saying, I'm super active and I'm always doing those types of things.
Yep.
So I'm not used to so many people out doing it.
Yeah.
Which I was like, whoa, like what? There's so many people on this trail. And it was cool that everyone was getting a chance to do that though.
Yeah.
But and then like a lot of the boat ramps were closing because they didn't want people on the lake for a while. So that
I don't get that logic.
I literally drove around for like hours. Like, okay, where am I going? I found places.
Just to
I ended
slide
up finding
in,
them to put my boat in. Yeah, because I didn't have it on the water at that time.
I just don't understand that. Like the logic that happened, I'm glad it's all over now, but the logic was just, it was gone. And I remember reading a story about the guy in Australia that was paddleboarding and he wasn't wearing a mask, and they sent like this whole boat squad out and like arrested him.
I was like, you're outside by yourself. What?
You ever see any of that on the lake? People wearing those? Never made sense to me why people wear it in water.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's so crazy to me, but luckily we're on the ass end of that, and everyone's moving forward. Didn't they just get rid of it on planes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're done at airport.
I'm
So
happy
I can't
about
wait.
that.
I'm gonna travel again. I would just eat the whole time.
I've still been traveling and everything. So I mean, yeah, in December I went to Hawaii, and that one was like so long with the mask though.
Oh, from
so
here.
So long.
How long is that? Like 10 hours from here?
I mean, total travel is quite a bit. But yeah, there's times where I for sure was like, oh, I'm eating.
Yeah. I would just eat really slow, and I'd be like, don't worry about me. Focus on your own. Yeah, I'm so happy that was all done. It was so exhausting too. Just like I missed being active. I'm social. Like I love being around people.
For sure.
And to like have that taken away, and it was the worst, and could not be more happy now. But at least you got to go out on the lake. You got to do boat stuff.
Without
and
the
things
lake,
like that.
I probably would have gone crazy.
Well, and were you with your boyfriend at the time too during all that?
No.
Oh yeah, it messed up a lot of couples.
Yeah.
Like I saw tons of breakups, tons of people separating, going their own way. So it was it was a dark time. I mean, I'm still thinking about I think about even have you been watching the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trials?
No.
Did you ever see any of that, Marlon?
Yeah, this shit's crazy.
Oh man, they it had this. I think it all happened during shutdowns too. People were going nuts, but she apparently it was it got violent, and he was accused of hitting her or something. Then comes out later that it was the opposite, and there's just some crazy stuff happening in there.
Yeah.
And I can't watch it though. I can't get into those things. I got so much other stuff
For
going on
sure.
that it just becomes too draining after a while. But it's definitely interesting, but that's also like the scary part of public recognition or fame that like I don't like. There's a part of me that doesn't want people to know who I am because I don't want my life like put on blast like that. So I think it's just about how you approach it. And what was what was I gonna say? It was important, but I forget things now all the time. And so do you have anything coming up prior to Worlds? That not the North Carolina one though, right?
Like competition wise, yeah, I have a lot. So,
really?
Yeah, because Worlds is all the way in October. So I've already done one event this year in Arizona, and that was in April, beginning of April. And then I have, where am I going? I have a competition in Florida and Georgia.
Man, you're moving.
Yeah, I have that. And then I think an online one, and then one that
that drives me nuts.
Yeah, an online one, and then one that's not determined on where it is. So I have a handful of events coming up.
Staying busy.
Yeah.
Can you host your own? Can you do your own thing?
I'm sure it could.
I bet that would fly out here.
You just have to promote it.
Yeah.
Do that. Maybe we'll do that for the next show.
Will the internet ones qualify you the same way?
Yeah.
They do, yes.
Dang.
Yeah.
But it's just
feels
really
like it's
whoever
cheating.
can send in the best reel, basically, right?
Well,
like
it can be it can't be edited at all, too. So
how would they know?
I mean,
That's-
it's like, I'm telling you, it's like you know, because it's straight up like iPhone, like, okay, here's the board, here I am throwing the rope, and here's my line of tricks.
But it could be like you were saying, it could be like your 5th attempt where you got it like nailed it. So yeah, that's such a strange.
But it is cool because it is everyone's best, you know.
Yeah.
So like at competitions, we all have like off days and like might not have our best runs and stuff. So it's kind of cool because it's like, okay, this is literally everyone's best unless they didn't have enough time to submit a better one, you know?
Yeah, I know. Can you imagine like submitting one and getting last place? And you're like, you had every opportunity to win. And, and you you were given an advantage and it doesn't.
That's not good.
But that would be me. I would be like, I gave it everything. And so who are the companies you work with now? What is it called? The boat company, the Centurion.
Yeah.
Today's episode is brought to you by Line 1 Nutrition. Since their inception 13 years ago, Line 1 Nutrition has steadily grown into one of the most trusted supplement companies in the world, consistently formulating groundbreaking muscle-building supplements enjoyed throughout the USA and at military bases around the world. Excellent customer service is a staple of Line 1 Nutrition and is a big reason they've maintained a dedicated customer base with clients who reorder time and again. Line 1 Nutrition's products aren't the garden variety proteins and pre-workouts found on the shelf. They've spent years developing a line custom engineered to exceed normal standards and meet every need, from mind-blowing pre-workouts to incredible joint support with CBD and even green energy Malaysian kratom, which provides fantastic stress-reducing, anti-inflammatory properties that benefit athletes of any kind. But where Line 1 has really made their mark is with their lean muscle-building supplements. No other company can match Line 1's unique, potent, proven effective muscle builders. The bottom line is, if you're serious about taking your physique to the next level, visit www.line1nutrition.com today and use code AFC15 to save 15% off your entire order.
Yes, yeah.
It's a crazy good name. And do they just make boats, or do they have offer other things as well?
It's all boats. Yeah, it's a boat company. They make them out of Merced, California.
Oh, nice.
But Ski Dock here in Austin sells them. But yeah, I've been with them for a very long time. They've been focusing on wake surfing since before it was big.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. They've been all into wake surfing forever.
They just give you a boat.
It's like they give me one to use.
Hey.
Yeah.
Wonder if they want to sponsor this show.
Right.
I'll put a boat in here.
Right.
Sit in a boat and do this.
It's great though. I love sponsors. They're the best. And then, and do you work with anyone else as well?
I do. Roswell, which is like the tower speakers on the boat and like board racks and like those accessories. And then Connolly, which they make wakes. They're huge. They make wake surf boards, ropes, wakeboards, all that kind of stuff, all the gear.
And yeah, I think, with Connolly, I remember I was in Montana and I was at Flathead Lake, and I remember my Uncle Wes had a bunch of their stuff. That's why I remember that really quick. But
Yeah, they've been around for a long time.
The only thing I was ever good at was kneeboarding. You ever do that? It's kind of cheating, but it was fun.
I think it's hilarious to watch.
Well, this is what I gave it my all. Wake surfing wasn't working out, and went to the next best thing.
Weekend, like I needed.
Hey.
Oh man, that's
You ever go
funny.
tubing? Tubing's fun too.
That's just painful.
Yeah, well, if you get that drunk uncle that decides to ramp it up, and then he like breaks it down and then
Yeah,
goes.
where it's just fun to fly over all the waves.
I fell off when we went super high in the air, and I just fell and I dropped it felt like 1,000 feet, but it was probably like 20. But it hurt. It's slamming into
It
that.
does.
Was
It
rough.
hurts. Yeah, I refuse to go tubing. I'm like,
Yeah.
nope.
No, not for me. Yeah, you just stick to wake surfing. You're not
I
trying to
really
do
do. Yeah,
No.
I stick to wake surfing when it comes to water sports. I'm like, this one doesn't hurt.
it. I'm safe with this one.
At least for the most part.
Right. So when you're doing your classes too, is that all you guys just focus on, or if they want to do the skim, do you know how to do the skimboard as well too?
Yeah, I know how to skimboard, and I competed in it for 1 year. So I was doing both for a bit, but yeah, I teach skim and surf.
Okay.
And actually, we were talking about sponsors. One of my sponsors, Lake Hop, that's who I book, like people book through
Okay.
to get book a lesson with me, but it's like a booking app.
I was gonna say
like literally anyone too that has a boat can put their boat on there, and even if they're not teaching, if somebody just wants to go ride on a boat, it's kind of like Uber.
Okay.
But for boats.
Wasn't there one called Turo? That
That's
you
a
rent
cars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you rent cars. So this
It's
is
the
like the
same
Turo for
thing,
boats, though.
but you have a boat driver.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say,
It's not people just like, oh, here's a boat.
Yeah, best of luck to
Figure
you.
it out.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of boats do that though. Like, or really any. Is there? I can't imagine someone would trust a stranger with their boat. So.
There's no way I would.
No, not yours. No,
Scary.
I think there's the only ones are like what's the company out here? The Retro Boat Rentals. Have you ever seen those?
I'm not sure.
There's
so many boat rental companies nowadays.
Yeah, this one like lets you have control of it.
Oh,
I think it
really?
goes like 5 miles an hour.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah, they
Is it on Town Lake?
I think it's in Ladybird almost.
Yeah.
Is that Town Lake?
Yes,
Yeah,
same
okay.
thing.
Yeah, same name. I don't know. I'm still learning everything. But yeah, they have like these like 50s design
Okay,
boats.
I did see that. Yeah.
And they rent them out and you take them out. I think they're more for like
cool.
date ideas and stuff.
Yeah, that would be
but
fun. But they can't go fast, and there's no one wake surfing in that lake.
You're not
so
gonna crash
you're
into
good.
stuff. That was my biggest fear driving a boat. Was the time I tried to go wake surfing. They wanted to take turns driving, and I was like, okay, and never driven a boat like that. And it was a nice one, and all I could think was, if I crash this boat, like my life's over. And I was so scared, and he would just kept telling me, oh, go faster, and I was like, I don't want to do
He
this.
didn't give you a little lesson first?
No. Yeah, they just threw me into these things.
That's scary.
I know. I told him.
Just
I
like-
remember saying, I don't want to do this. And he said, no one else knows how to drive it. I go, I'm no one else.
You need like you need at least like a little lesson. Like, hey, this is how you go forward. This is how you pick someone up.
said, figure it out.
It's kind of important.
I'm going to just go surf. And I was like, okay, well, I don't want to crash this boat. And he didn't care, which is so
Wow.
weird. Because can you imagine saying that to someone with your boat? Like,
No, like anytime I have a friend drive, even if they are used to driving boats, I'm like, hey, this is how it is on my boat.
Oh.
Here's this. Like, I give them at least a little of information,
Right?
not just
it's like,
straight
here's
up
the
like,
keys. I'll be back
here's
there.
this, I'm in the water. Don't run me over and
Yeah.
don't crash my boat.
Yeah. I was so scared. It was like, I had the worst anxiety. All I could think was like, I'm going to crash into people. Like there might be someone swimming out there. And then that's the thing a lot of people don't know is when the boat gets going, it goes up.
Yeah.
So I can't see anything in front of me. So I'm trying to learn how to drive a boat blind. And I got this guy having the best time of his life surfing behind me. And he's like, throw me a White Claw. And I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah. You ever do those? They throw drinks out and chug them.
No, I actually never drink on the water.
Really?
Yeah, I just go out and train, and then
makes sense.
that's about it. Like,
Never
'cause
when you're out with friends or anything?
Not really, no. It's,
Oh.
I mean, for me, first off, I usually ride in the morning, so
Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to
not
slam.
really drinking in the mornings, but
That's COVID time.
yeah, that's not anymore.
Yeah. No.
For the most part, I go out in the mornings to ride. So I'll get out, get that done first thing in the day because I don't know. To me, it's like, okay, what's my most important thing? Get practice in. So I go ride in the morning.
What time?
Well, not too early right now because it's been chilly.
It sucks.
I'm
I
like,
hate
what is this? This is not Texas.
No. This rain and all that. I feel like I'm back in Washington.
I know, it's so weird. So
it's the worst.
Like right now I'll go around like 10, 11 a.m. But normally in the summer, like summertime, I go at 7:30 because the lake gets crowded. So I get out there and I'm like, want to be the first one on the water.
Do you always have to have someone out with you? I imagine. Who is it usually? Do you just have another person that trains? Is it like Josh? Is it?
Normally it's just like one of my friends. Like I have a lot of friends that luckily can kind of make their own work schedules.
Oh, perfect.
So
this is a big entrepreneurial city. So
yeah. I have a lot of friends that are able to go wake surf.
Yeah. And do you how long do you usually practice when you're out there?
I would say like I usually ride for a minimum of an hour, but if I'm like super feeling it that day, like I might end up out there for a while trying a new trick.
That's smart. And then the rest of the day you just spend doing classes with people?
My schedule like really varies. It's never the same. So I'll like wake surf and then maybe go work out or do some yoga or emails or like maybe lessons. It really varies on the day.
No, and that makes sense. Yeah, I imagine you're pretty busy, and with summer being here, probably is that like kind of peak competition time, or is it basically all year? It's just all summer?
So competitions are usually like May through October. But we had that early one in April. So it started a little bit early. But and then in the winter, it goes from like busy, like a million miles an hour. And then winter hits and I'm like, whoa.
What do I do with my hands?
I'm like, this is crazy. Like I have nothing I have to do.
That would drive me bananas. But I'm sure there's places you can visit though to go.
In the winter, I normally will go on like surf or snowboard trips. Kind of switch it up, do different board sports.
I was going to ask if that transfers over to like other board sports like snowboarding or things like that.
I mean, it's obviously not like the same, but I feel like once I get a better understanding of a different board sport, sometimes I come home and I'm like, I have a whole new understanding of something else with wake surfing.
How so?
I guess just more board control, really.
Okay.
Because it's all different, but once you figure out the other ones, it's like can kind of translate a bit.
Yeah, no, and that makes sense. And so when you go snowboarding, you just go where everyone else goes up into Colorado?
I try and go somewhere different all the time, but I do end up going to Breck a lot.
Yep. Everyone goes. I've never been out there.
Oh, I love it.
Everyone has amazing things to say, and I need to make a trip.
Yes,
soon.
it's like good snow, amazing food.
Yep.
Like it's a cool little town too, cool vibes.
I'm from
cool.
I was born and raised in Boise, Idaho.
Oh, Boise's cool.
Yeah, and they have Bogus Basin out there, or they got another one. It's like it's about 90 miles north of Boise. But I went snowboard. We used to go on class trips, and I went snowboarding, and I got hurt so bad, and I got like the worst sunburn, and I said, I don't think this is for me. I'm gonna find something else. And then just growing up in the cold, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like, no. Texas. And my family always wants me to visit for like Christmas. I'm like, can you come here? It's much nicer here. But I can see how that would transfer over, and maybe getting to snowboarding. Competing both.
I don't know about that.
Those guys are wild.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to do that, but
when you fall, it hurts.
I just like going for fun. But I couldn't live in the cold anyway.
No,
I like the heat.
It's unbearable.
I just like visiting the cold.
Yeah, it's nice. Well, no, it's not nice. I grew up in it. I hated it. But I can see if people grew up in the heat here, I can see how they can appreciate it. But when it's the opposite, you're like,
no, like I grew up here and I still love it.
Yeah.
Like, no,
I love the heat. I have no desire to ever leave Texas.
You grew up in a place more humid than this.
I did. Down in Corpus.
Oh,
yep, very
I don't think I've been to
humid.
Corpus yet.
Valley is
He's from West Texas.
Yeah, I'm from West. I'm from almost border towns.
Yeah.
So it's just the desert. It's like much drier.
Yep.
This felt humid to me, Austin.
Right. And then you go to Corpus and it's real humid.
Yeah. And what do they, is Is there like a big surf community out there too? Or?
There is like ocean surfing, but although we don't get waves that often.
I was gonna say, so that's like intercoastal stuff, right? If
I used to wake surf in the intercoastal there, before I moved here.
I'm terrified of the ocean though.
Really?
I'm cool with lakes, but monsters scare me.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the ocean. Lots of crazy things.
I just know I'm the guy that is like the one that when they find out about monsters, they're like, yeah, they killed someone already out there. And it was me.
That's you.
Yeah, I'm seriously. I moved to Hawaii when I was 18. I lived in Maui for a very small time before I realized I'm not fit out. I'm not good for this. This isn't me.
Funny.
And yeah, it's the thought of the unknown that scares me. And then
I don't know if I haven't told you, but when I was a kid, I was terrified of the water.
Me too.
Everything in the water.
Lake scared me as well.
Same. Yeah. So the fact that I'm like a pro wake surfer is like mind blowing because I used to not even touch the water. Like when my family first got the boat, would not go in the water.
No
I
way.
just sat on the boat. Yep. I was like, I'm not going in.
The only lake I ever felt safe in was Flathead Lake. My dad's from Montana, so we'd go up to Kalispell, Montana. Yeah. And we would take boat trips over to there's actually a lake called Foy's Lake.
Seriously?
Yeah, but there's one. His last name, and but there's another one, Flathead, which is pretty popular, but it's known for being crystal clear. You can see all the way to the bottom. Was okay with that. Knew what was under me, but in Boise there's a lake, and I couldn't see anything under it, and I would get riddled with anxiety, and I was so scared something was gonna grab me.
Same thing.
No way.
The only way I actually got in the water to learn how to wakeboard, this was before wake surfing, was because my mom told me it was man-made. She's like, there's no fish in here. Like, it's man-made. Like, it's just like a big pool.
Was she lying or was it true?
Yeah, she was for sure lying.
Yeah.
Later on, after I learned how to wakeboard and liked it, I saw people fishing on the lake, and I'm like, wait a minute. Like, there's things in here.
There's creatures.
But I'm so thankful she did that. I mean, I would have never wake surfed.
Well, anytime I'd get comfortable too, like, I would have my brother loved to terrify me. And so I would get comfortable, and then he would say some shit like, oh, this is where they filmed Creatures of the Black Lagoon. Like, it's a true story. And you're like, oh, fuck, get me out of here. Like, just things like that. And I was such a wimp growing up. I was just like, I was scared of everything. And so it took me forever to get over that. But yeah, water scared me, but I'm good with it now. I do wear life jackets though. I'm like, if something's pulled me under, they're going to work for this. Like, they're getting me. Because undertows is what scared me growing up. Because one thing we loved doing in Boise was float the river. It was like a huge thing. We do it every summer. But it was probably this deep, but people will die in it because of undertows. They'll pull you under. And that was also another fear of mine is like, I don't think they have those really in lakes, though, do they?
No, there's not really anything going on in the water.
I was gonna say,
in the lake. Yeah, it's pretty calm.
My lack of knowledge of the water.
Yeah. Nothing going on.
So, but yeah, it's silly, but no, I would love to. We'll definitely set that up. We'll have to go out there. We'll get all the people I was talking about earlier, and you can teach me. We'll film it. We just started a show where I go train with pros in their sport, cool. And in fact, we're gonna do one with Angela and the others, and maybe we can do that too. We'll go out there really and fun. We'll just make it fun.
Get you up on the board, get you riding without the rope.
I know, right? Yeah. Get me, what is it? No, I'll wear some arm floaties just in case for balance. But no, so if people are trying to follow your journey, kind of reach out to you, where do they go? Where would they look for you on?
Instagram.
Yes. What's the Instagram name?
Ashley Kids Surf.
And then YouTube as well. You've been doing a lot more active on there.
Just started back up again. Yeah.
Oh, we got running in the front. Yeah.
I did. Yeah. I took a long break there for a while, but now Josh is helping me get it back up and running. So
he's one of the best.
Getting consistent with that now.
Yep. And that's you just search Ashley Kid.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And just Ashley Kid, and I have some how-to videos on there, and then stuff. I just did one on how I set up my wave on my boat. I get asked that quite a bit, so I went into depth about that and just putting stuff out there. How do
you set up a wave?
It's a process, but on my boat, we have like these tanks called Ramfill that fill up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I fill those and just offset the other side that I'm not on just a little bit.
Okay. I have heard of that. I think I was talking about that earlier too. Yeah. And so Ashley Kid Surf, Ashley Kid on YouTube, anything, no other socials or any of that?
I have Facebook and Twitter. I have like all of them and TikTok.
Oh, you're just.
I've got them all.
I mean, it's a pretty unique name. Yeah. I think it's pretty not hard to find with Twitter blowing up now again with Daddy Elon taking over. Did you see all that? It's official.
I did, yeah.
What do you think of that? Yeah, it's nothing.
I don't know.
Yeah, people keep asking me. I'm like, it's a new owner. Yeah,
yeah. I'm like, I don't know.
what do you want me to say? like I'm gonna just hit him up and be like, hey, I got some ideas. Like, I don't know this guy. So, but we'll wrap it up. I do appreciate you coming out. I was super excited for today as well, and we'll set it up, and then we'll definitely have to run it back at some point. Have you back on here?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Do some updates after Worlds. Yeah. Bring all the medals, throw them in, and so. But no, on that case, no, thanks again. I'm really happy you were able to make it out. And Marlon, you know what to do. Let's go.